Hey Johnson and Prucha, Hall Director Mitchell here. In this video we're going to talk about a few updates for each hall. I will also show pictures from Halloween in the halls and the Halloween parties that happened in both Johnson and Prucha Hall. We'll talk about the status of the kitchen in Johnson and how we need to clean it up a little bit better. We'll talk about Target Zero, which is an initiative to keep lockouts from happening. And we'll talk about community survey, the community index survey. So those will be things covered in this video, so I hope you stick around and watch. So you may have seen the flyers in the hall, but this month in November we're doing Target Zero. So we are targeting 0 lockouts in the hall. So what does that mean? It means if you get locked out of your room and you have to have a staff member assist you in getting back into your room, whether that's an RA or myself, that counts as a lockout. Now let's say you get locked out of your room, but you call your roommate to come back and unlock the door. That does not count. We are only looking at staff assisted lockouts. And we're trying to teach folks about personal safety and personal responsibility. So you should always carry your keys on you. That hasn't changed from day one. Please always carry your keys. It's, again, for your safety, so your stuff doesn't get stolen from your room. And it's accountability. You're responsible for your key. You're responsible for the items in your room. So just always carry your keys on you. And so the floor, and it's combined floor. So for example, like Johnson, first floor would be south and north. Prucha, like first floor would be east and west combined. The floor that has no lockouts during the month of November will get a food party of their choice. And so we can't go wild and get like Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. But what we can do is have a pizza party or a food party of your choosing. And so we want people to carry their keys. Unfortunately, fourth floor Johnson is out. But the rest of the floors are still in for Target Zero. So just remind your neighbors, remind your friends, carry your keys. And I want a lot of you to have food parties. And so that's the goal. Target Zero, 0 lockouts.
Hey Johnson Prucha, it's RA Faith here. I'm here to remind you about the Community Index Survey. You should have gotten an email from Kenny White with a link to take the survey. We'd really appreciate if you took time to do the survey. It should take you less than 10 minutes. And ask you questions about your hall director and your RA and just kind of your community in general. We'd appreciate any sort of feedback that you'd like to provide, whether it be positive, negative, constructive. We want to hear all kinds of feedback so we can improve your future experiences and the experiences of other students in the future when living in the residence halls. The wing with the highest percentage of residents who take the survey will get entered into a special prize at your next Community Bucks drawing event in December. Only residents from that wing will be able to enter Community Bucks to win a special prize. So keep taking the community survey. It is open until the 16th of November, but take it as soon as possible. We really appreciate all the feedback, and you can win some cool prizes that not everyone else is going to get a chance to get. So go on out and take the community survey.
So on Tuesday, October 30th, all the halls across campus participated in Halloween in the halls. And here are some pictures from Halloween in the halls from both Johnson and Prucha.
There's a cynical feeling saying I should give up. You said everything you'll ever say. There's a moment of panic when I hear the phone ring. Anxiety's calling in my head. Is it back again? Are you back again?
Thanks to those who participated in Halloween in the halls. I know you really made a difference for the students and the kids from the community that came through, so thanks again for participating. And now, so those were pictures from Halloween in the halls, and both Johnson and Prucha each had their own Halloween parties. So Johnson Hall had Till Death Do Us Party, Till Death Do Us Part, and then Prucha had a Halloween party, Prucha Spooka. So here are some pictures from those two events.
Believed. I feel your hand on
Hey Johnson Hall, so you may have noticed that at the beginning of the year we have kitchen equipment, cooking equipment available for you to use at any time. You don't necessarily need to check it out from the front desk. So this is, I think, a great resource for the hall to have, so that you don't have to necessarily wait till 4:30 to use a cooking item if you need it. But unfortunately, our current stock and supply here looks to be a lot less than what we started with. So if you have an item in your room, maybe you cook something, maybe you had leftovers you brought up to your room, please bring those items back. We need them to continue having these available for everyone in the hall to use. Again, if you're using it in the kitchen, great, but just be sure to clean it and bring it back when you're done. Hey Johnson, so continuing on with the kitchen, it's not been in the best kept condition. People are leaving stuff here, like you can see water bottles there. I do appreciate the people who brought down soap for the community to use, but sometimes this kitchen looks really bad. So it'd be great if you, when you use the pots and pans, if you clean them up by washing them and letting them dry. Looks like someone did wash some dishes and let them dry, but didn't put them back on the table. So we want to try and keep this area as clean and tidy as possible. So please wash and clean the dishes when you're done, and let them dry, and then put them back on the table so we can keep the space nice for everyone to use. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the video, but Faith has one more major thing that Faith is going to talk about.
Alright folks, so we're going to kind of review quiet hours here for you. So just a reminder to be respectful of your fellow residents living on your floor and in the rest of the building. Utilize those shared spaces like the basement if you do need to be a little bit louder after quiet hours. That'll really help kind of relieve some of the issues that we've been having on the floors involving quiet hours and people being a little bit too loud on the floors.
There's always the option, you can call the RA on duty number if you have noise. What I would recommend though is to go talk to your neighbor directly. That way you are talking to your neighbor, they know that it's affecting you, you build that community with your neighbor, you get to know each other. We don't necessarily have to get staff involved, and if we can take care of issues in the community by the community members, that is the most preferable, and that's ultimately what builds a strong community. So if you need to call the RA on duty, that's perfectly fine, but what we recommend is talking to the person directly first, and if that doesn't yield any results, call the RA on duty number. So thanks for the update on that. Thanks for watching the video, if you're still watching at this point, and we hope to see you at events, we hope to see you at community meals, in the Falls Room, we hope to see you around the hall. Please take the community feedback or community index survey, that we would really appreciate that. We do look at the feedback that we get from those surveys. Thanks for attending all the events that you have so far. Thanks for being a great community. I really have appreciated the communities being built in both Johnson and Prucha, and I hope your semesters are going well, and we will see you around the halls. Thanks. Welcome to the news. Welcome to Dateline NBC. I'm your host, Tom Brokaw. I have Diane Sawyer here.
Yeah, that's me.
What up, Jake Paulers? Hall Director Mitchell here, coming to you